Neal Battaglia, saxstation.com. That was a clip of me playing Flight of the Bumblebee, and the clip is about 18 seconds. I played it in one breath. That wasn't the easiest thing to do, but basically I figured that if I played it fast enough, which is kind of the right tempo for that song, I could probably do it within one breath. So 18 seconds on a tenor, I'm using a metal mouthpiece. I'm not using a very hard reed, but it is kind of an open tip. That's probably about as much air as you need to play on the saxophone in most situations. If you can play 18 seconds, if you can play more like 10 seconds without breathing, it's probably okay. If you can play a little bit longer, that's cool. Not completely necessary most of the time, or really any of the time unless you really want to do that. There is a technique called circular breathing where you can play a lot longer and you basically are breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Kenny G did that for the world record a while ago. Certain saxophone players do that sometimes. It's something you can do if you want to. It takes a little bit of work to get the technique. I don't think it's especially important, but if you really want to do it, you can. At the same time, I would recommend not working on that if you don't have the fundamentals of the saxophone, if you don't move your fingers with good technique, if you don't have good rhythm, etc. So how long you should be able to breathe on the saxophone? If you can't hold a note for more than like 2 seconds, if you have to breathe every 2 seconds, that's probably, maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe your neck strap is adjusted incorrectly, so your airstream is kind of not going smoothly. Maybe you're using a reed that's way too hard. Maybe the mouthpiece that you're using isn't appropriate for you. If you're a beginning saxophone player, you probably shouldn't use an open metal mouthpiece. It's not necessarily what you should start with. So in terms of how long you should be able to play a note, I saw one person in my beginning saxophone players group on Facebook. He thought that holding for 40 to 50 seconds would be good. I don't think that's necessary. There should be space in the music. Space is part of music. If you don't have space, you're kind of constantly playing and you don't have the shape that space allows you to give in the music. When guitar players play, they could keep playing and they don't need to breathe to stop playing, so they could just keep going forever. But wind players, we need to breathe. That's actually not necessarily a disadvantage in some ways. It's good to put in the space and to put in the space at appropriate times. Sometimes you don't want to take a breath, like in the middle of a phrase. It's going to kind of break up the melody or break up the line that you're doing. That's not necessarily a good thing. But if you breathe appropriately, it can actually add to the music rather than subtract. And someone like a bass player or a guitar player, they actually should kind of think about how horn players need to breathe in certain places and give some space in the music a little bit more. When I played Flight of the Bumblebee, it also required quite a bit of technique. If you move your fingers in a sloppy way, then you're not going to be able to play clean and quickly. And it's not perfect yet. I'm still working on it. But basically, I've spent quite a bit of time on technique. If you want to work on technique, you can check out saxophonetribe.com and we can go through some things that will help you clean up the movement with your fingers, which will make you sound better on the saxophone. If you want to check out the beginning saxophone players group that I put on Facebook, I'll put a link to that. Go there, answer 3 questions. You can join, get some feedback on your playing, ask some questions. And on saxstation.com, I also have other classes, books that I've written, and a lot of different resources.